Any challenges on the professional level? I mean, you were working in the mainstream media before, but now that you've chosen this journey, things are not the same, are they?
No, I was dropped like a hot brick. The BBC referred to me, when I put on a hijab, the BBC referred to me as the former journalist Yvonne Ridley. And
as if you are no longer.
Yeah, it took many letters and various complaints to different departments to say, I am still working as a journalist. How dare you call me the former journalist? And it had been quite difficult, but people are slowly coming around to seeing that I'm still professional. I still care about journalism, and I've changed the style of journalism that I do. I used to do a lot of undercover work, but now I focus mainly on humanitarian efforts, and I still go out into war and conflict zones. And
you told me before earlier that you've just been to Idlib.
Yes, that was quite a tough experience. People there are, this expression, hang on to the rope or hold tight onto the rope of Allah. The people there, they have nothing left but God, and it is their faith which is keeping them going. And to secularists and atheists, I would say, if you don't understand belief, go to Idlib and you will see God is everywhere, because that is what is keeping those people going.
Now, in addition to your conversion to Islam, you opposed the war in Iraq and you stood by the Palestinian people. And these two issues were also sources of trouble.
Well, I have been a staunch supporter of the Palestinians since I was 13, 14, when I first signed a petition, when I first heard about the Palestinians. And I've always been quite vocal about support for the Palestinians, and nobody really took any notice. And then the moment I put on a hijab, oh my word, she's an extremist. And I said, but hold on, I had these views before. It's not me that's changed, it's you that's changed towards me. And the plight of the Palestinians, it doesn't matter whether you're a person of faith or no faith. This is one of the biggest, longest running injustices in the world today. And it blighted the 20th century, and it's running into the 21st century. And it is a real big stain from east to west on our civilization. And, people talk about the siege of Gaza being 12 years. I was on the very first boat to break the siege of Gaza, and about 100,000 Palestinians turned out to see the boats arrive. Why did so many people turn out? Because there hadn't been a boat arriving in Gaza for more than 40 years. This was incredible. And, the boats, there were two boats, largely crewed by non-Muslims, a lot of secularists and atheists. And at one point during the dead of night, we were told that we were surrounded by Israeli gunboats. And we thought, you know, this is the end. Our communications were down, all the cell phones, mobile phones, everything was down. We were in the pitch black, bobbling around in the Eastern Mediterranean. And I was with filmmaker Aki Nawaz, who is a practicing Muslim. And I said, it looks as though this is the
end.
The end. And I said, do you think that we'll end up in paradise if we die here? And he said, well, yes. He said, I can't think of a more noble cause than dying for the Palestinians. And I said, you know, I said, you're right. And we both started laughing and at the irony that we were going to be sent to paradise by the Israelis, you know, and so we were laughing and saying, well, bring it on. And that belief in God just made us feel so strong. And
it does miracles.
It really, everybody else was, you know, you could see the fear, and they're looking at us thinking, what are those two daft Muslims laughing about? And it was because we were expecting any minute that that would be the end of this life, but greater things to come.
Did you end up with a Palestinian passport?
I did. I did. Well, it was a miracle. For some reason, the Israeli boats just disappeared and we were able to continue on our journey. We got into Gaza and there were these banners with our faces everywhere, and I just thought, they didn't think we were going to get through. Yeah. These aren't the banners of welcome. These are the martyrs. And so I think a lot of people thought that we were going to be...
If I remember correctly, nobody ever made it after you. I think all the other boats were turned down, were turned back, and or were arrested.
I think a couple did get through after that, but then there was the Mavi Marmara and the flotilla crimes, and it was yes, nobody has been able to get through since, and it was that is probably one of the highlights of my life, and if ever my faith and belief in God was tested, and I think I passed 100%, was that moment on the boat. But after that, we met Ismail Haniyeh, who was then the Prime Minister in Gaza, and he issued us with passports. And I remember saying, at last, I have a Prime Minister of whom I can be proud. And that was a great moment as well. And
a very good note to end on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sister.